Right, so we're going to finish with lesson 54, and lesson 54 is about the subtraction axiom and the system of simultaneous equations. And again, you have the vocabulary for that because they are really long. So the subtraction axiom said that changing the numeral by which a number is named in an expression doesn't change the value of the expression. For any numbers a and b, if a equals b, then a and b may be substituted for each other. And if a equals b, then a may replace b or b may replace a in any statement without changing the truth or falsity of the statement. And then the system of simultaneous equations said that if we need one solution, that will satisfy two or more equations. So basically, we're going to put those two things together to solve these equations. So our first one says that we're going to solve for x and y. All right. So we're going to solve for x and y with using these two equations. So equation A is 2x minus y equals 11. And B is x equals negative 3y plus 11. So those are our two equations, and we're going to solve for x and y. So the first thing we need to do is find y, and we're going to do that using equation A. So we are going to plug in equation B wherever we see an x in equation A. So equation A was 2x minus y equals negative 11. So it will become 2 negative 3y plus 11 minus y equals negative 11. So we substituted in for x equation B because we're trying to find out y. So then if we distribute this one out, we get negative 6y plus 22 minus y equals negative 11. Excuse me. And then we take the negative 6y minus y, so we have negative 7y plus 22 equals negative 11. We take 22 from both sides. Negative 7y equals oh, this is 1. I'm sorry. Got my equations completely mixed up. Sorry. So the actual equation is 2x minus y equals 1. That is my equation. So then I did 2 times 3x plus 11 minus y equals 1. Goes down to 6y plus 22 minus y equals 1. Took my 6y from my 7y to give me negative 7y plus 22 equals 1. And then when I subtract that out, I have negative 7 equals negative 21. And then divide both by negative 7. So y equals 3. So then now that I know y, I can figure out x. So I will use my second equation. X equals negative 3y plus 11. Double check that's my equation. So then all I have to do is plug in y. So x equals negative 3 times 3 plus 11. So x equals negative 9 plus 11. X equals 2. Negative 9 plus 11 is 2. So then my ordered pairs is 2, 3. So that's my final answer, 2 and 3. Remember, we did ordered pairs in the previous lesson, so that's how it's written, as an ordered pair. So again, all I did, we had to figure out x and y, so I took my first equation and plugged it in where I saw x to figure out what y is. Once I found y, I plugged it into my second equation to find x. We will try another one. There, write the problem out correctly. I'm struggling this morning. Alright. So we're still solving for x and y. And my first equation is 3x plus 2y equals 3. And the second one is x equals 3y minus 10. Alright, so we're trying to find y first. So I use 3x plus 2y equals 3. And I plug in this equation. So I have 3y minus 10 plus 2y equals 3. And we're going to get 9y minus 30 plus 2y equals 3. And then my 9y plus 2y is going to give me 11y minus 30 equals 3. And we add 30 to both sides. I have 11y equals 33. Divide by 11. Y equals 3 again. Now I can plug that into my second equation to find x. X equals 3y minus 10. So x equals 3 times 3 minus 10. X equals 9 minus 10. X equals negative 1. Negative 1 and 3 are my ordered pair. And we will do one more. So we're going to solve for x and y. My first equation is 2x plus 3y equals 5. And the second one is x equals y. All right. So I use my first equation to find out y. And I plug in the x and y. So it's going to be 2, and since x equals y, this is going to be y, 2 times y, plus 3y equals 5. 2y plus 3y is 5y. 5y equals 5. Divided by 5, y equals 1. And then x equals y is my second equation. So if y equals 1, x equals 1. So I just plugged it in. So that ordered pair is 1, 1. And that's basically all you do. So again, just to review, we're solving for x and y. We're going to take our first equation to figure out what y is. We plug in our second equation wherever x is into the first equation. Solve that out to find out what y is. Once we find y, we plug y into our second equation to figure out x, and then we write it as an ordered pair. And that is all for lesson 54.